Just the other day we discussed G2A and how their and Gearbox's relationship over Bulletstorm had come to a swift closure if, of course, G2A did not meet various demands from Gearbox. And as many predicted, including myself, G2A have not met these demands. Now, obviously, as I said in my video, Gearbox didn't expect to make these huge sweeping changes in just a couple of days. In fact, the deadline for responding was in time for Bulletstorm, but they gave G2A an actual few months to actually start implementing these changes. But apparently G2A don't really have an interest in this, as they have issued a statement today which is rather lengthy. It is 4 pages long. Obviously I'm not going to go through all of it, but they went to great lengths to go into detail how Gearbox's demands were either unnecessary or, as they said, impossible. They even said that the public statement from Gearbox last week was, quote, false and defamatory. Now I've got a head of PR's statement here, whose name I would probably butcher, so I'm not going to even try, but they said, quote, this is an excellent example that rash actions without full knowledge of the facts can be harmful to both developer and the marketplace, especially since all of the requests made of G2A.com in the ultimatum have long been part of our marketplace. Now, a lot of the criticisms surrounding G2A, and obviously part of Gearbox's demands, was G2A Shield, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. You basically pay extra so you don't become a victim of fraud. Now, according to the head of PR, basically these same services are available to non-paying consumers, but basically, according to him at least, it's the speed and convenience of the interactions required to actually get a resolution. Now you might be wondering, okay, exactly how much of a speeding up is this? Well, according to the findings of PC Games N, this goes from basically 9 days to 5 days. However, the issue with G2A Shield is not just that you're paying for a service that is actually covered by law, but also the fact that allegedly it takes a lot of effort to actually cancel the service. According to this very same report from, again, PC Games N, it took 16 clicks across 10 screens to cancel the G2A Shield subscription, which is, well, ridiculous. Now obviously the problems with G2A go far beyond the issues with G2A Shield. Of course there are some very serious allegations and direct proof of, some of the keys, not all, some of the keys having been bought with stolen credit cards, which then result in credit card chargebacks, which has done pretty massive damage to indie companies, and obviously even big companies aren't exactly happy about the huge dent that makes to their wallet. Now, one of the things that Gearbox obviously asked for was a way for developers to actually flag keys en masse as stolen and basically monitor keys and obviously blacklist sellers that have a repeated history of doing this sort of thing. And they basically said they already have this with G2A Direct, which is basically a way for developers to sell their keys directly on the G2A platform, which sounds great, and it could be, but obviously the problem is, okay, let's say you've got a developer selling an official copy of the game for £25, just for example, but whoever from whatever place is selling it for £15, well, if you were unaware perhaps if that key is stolen, or even if it isn't, or whatever, you're still going to go with the cheaper one as a purchaser, or purchasee rather, should I say. So, according to comments from developers who have actually used the G2A Direct service, the actual amount of people who bought from them directly versus other users, were they legitimate keys or not, was obviously very, very small. And there's numerous developers, and I will include the source for these claims in the description below, who have basically said that they signed up to this service because trying to get keys they thought were not legitimate removed from the service was, well, basically impossible. So, yeah. Now, the head of PR also said that they are happy to pull down any codes on their marketplace that were purchased fraudulently, but obviously we've had a lot of comments from developers that say that isn't the case. Obviously there was like big controversy when some comments were made from Tiny Build quite a while ago that basically said that G2A had cost them about $450,000, I think they said, roughly, and that was an estimate on their part. You can find my video on that on this very same channel if you want to go give it a look-see. I did discuss that at length. So, I'm not saying G2A are the devil, oh my god, get out the pitchforks. I'm just saying that then, they have a history, is all I'm saying, and all of this stuff is documented. And again, the claims that I've made in this video, either from developers or what have you, there's going to be a couple of links in the description. I suggest you check them out. If you want to do some reading yourself and do some research, of course, I would always encourage you to look up for yourself when anyone's making these sort of claims, rather than just taking my word for it. Go and see and decide for yourself. But to be honest, the claims that Gearbox asked for, yes, they were huge and sweeping, but they would have actually been really, really good. They would have made G2A a lot more legitimate and lessened the damage that they do to the industry. But the fact that G2A have shown no interest in doing so, well, not exactly good, let's just put it that way. Again, there will be some links in the description below, but that is it for now, at least, regarding this whole thing between Gearbox and G2A. And by no means are Gearbox completely innocent in this. I find it hard to believe they weren't aware of G2A's reputation before they made this deal. And of course, the comments from Randy Pitchford trying to throw people can fly under the bus for this whole situation, that's not exactly brilliant either. So, you know, let's not paint Gearbox as some innocent little lambikins, because that's just not the case. But that doesn't necessarily negate G2A shadiness either. So, again, feel free to do your own research and let me know your opinions in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time.